सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। अंतर्ज्योति बहिर्ज्योति प्रत्यग्ज्योति परात्परः ज्योतिर्ज्योति स्वयं ज्योति आत्मज्योति शिवोऽस्म्यहम् आत्मज्योति शिवोऽस्म्यहम्। ओंकारं बिंदु संयुक्तं नित्यं ध्यायन्ति योगिनः कामदं मोक्षदं चैव ओंकाराय नमो नमः। योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। अभावश्चरधादीनां श्रूयते न्यायपूर्वकम् वैदग्ध्यं तेन वै प्राप्तं स्वप्नाहु प्रकाशितम्। अभावश्च रथादीनां, रथादि car, aeroplane, nothing can be in that nadis of ours which are so thin. Swapnam is, they say, is seen in the nadis. And nadis are so very small. Otherwise also, without all these arguments, we know that the dream world is unreal because you wake up and you just laugh at the whole dream. Don't need any argument for that. But what he is trying to prove is the same conditions are available in the waking state. If you say that it is andastu, you are seeing it. In the waking state also I am seeing it inside only. Am I seeing that plant outside? It may appear to be outside, but where am I experiencing it? In my own mind. Mind is not small also. Mind has got immense possibility of expansion. So you see, it is the same thing. We are seeing andastu. Uchita deshakala bhava. Compared to that, it is ujita deshakala. But really speaking, compared to the higher, it is not. Even the dream, even the waking state is only a All these are there in the waking state also. Hence he says, therefore, the waking state and the dream state is taken together by Gaudapada. And he calls both as Swapna. You understand? Both are only Swapna. But because of our,
From dream we will come to waking.
waking. But waking we are not able to go to
The higher state.
higher state. So we think this is real, that is unreal. Okay. But this is also not real, says here. He tries to explain it by yukti that it is not also real. We will see those arguments. For this very reason stated here, Nyaya Purvagam, the Shruti declares that chariots, etc., perceived in dream do not actually exist. Why we call it unreal? Because it doesn't exist at all. It is only in your kalpana it is existing. It is in your mind, mental projection it is. It doesn't really exist. This Ratha Kalpana is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. The same thing he says in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that there are no rathas, there are no spans, there are no roads, nothing in the dream. So, that declares that chariots, etc., perceived in dream do not actually exist. It is therefore stated by the wise that Shruti declares the unreality of dream objects as proved. Now in Bhashya he says, for this additional reason also objects seen in dream are unreal. For by the Brihadaranyaka Shruti text, there does not exist chariots, etc. The Shruti had declared the absence of chariots perceived in dream, basing such a declaration on reasoning. So, knowers of Brahman say that even though this Shruti text is intended to establish that Atma is self-luminous, that Shruti text also follows the reasoning which establishes the unreality of the dream world. Which Shruti? Brihadaranyaka Shruti. See, actually, the Kariga and the Mandukya Upanishad depends very heavily on Brihadaranyaka and Chandogya texts. The many of the Shruti passages that they have chosen is from Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Brihadaranyaka is a very valid Shruti, not an ordinary one. And he says, the follows the reasoning which establishes the unreality. Now, additional reason is given here, abhavascharadhadinam, incidentally establishes the unreality of dream. The dream objects are seen in a limited space in the body, therefore the unreality of dream objects is proved both by Shruti and reasoning. Now, our Sita says that all these are the waking experiences are all in our brain and in little, what do you call? Minuscule form. Is it not? It is there. So, how do you say it is unreal? It is there in your, and it is coming out in dream. So, how can we say it is not real, truly real? But the point that we are forgetting is that all these are only pictures, is it not?
There cannot be two vastu. One vastu, the same vastu also cannot be there inside.
See, first of all, it is only a picture of that. But if at all there is a thing, it is only a picture. And pictures are not real. The moon that you see in the picture is not the moon, real moon. This is what I told. It's not the real moon. Now see, the picture of your mother that you see in the photo is not your mother. Mother is different. Mother has a reality. This is an unreal representation of the reality. All those scientific these things, they are all like pictures in our mind. And all pictures are only, so far as I am concerned it is, so far as when you are talking from the higher level of consciousness, they are all unreal only. Kalpana only. This throat, I feel like cutting my throat now. Kir, 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 you know how it is when you talk. Irritating. Now say the word abhavacharadadinam shows that not only the objects are unreal, but the dream experience itself is unreal. These objects that are seen in the dream are unreal. Some things you see, people and things which you have not seen also. So how do you say? How are you seeing in the dream? Some people from the Mars. If you see, you have not seen them. Then where from? Maybe from the subconscious. From the subconscious mind, apurva vastus will come out. That is why we see. One man was meditating and he said, no, tomorrow onwards I am not meditating. Why? Because he says, I never knew I am such a vulgar person. In the meditation, all vulgar thoughts only are coming. It happens to some people. Don't get worried. It is only there in the subconscious. We are releasing it. Your mind is becoming purified. But how do you come? I am such a nice, decent gentleman. How does this come? We don't know when it was put there. You see, what we do is, what we don't want to think of, we put it inside the subconscious and forget it. We think we have forgotten. Arey, we are not forgotten. It is there at the right time and it comes out. And what is the more better time than meditation? Quiet, everything is quiet. Mind is quiet. So if you hear, hurrah, let it go. All this dirt that is in my mind, let it go. That is why we keep on saying meditation is important. Meditation helps you to purify the mind and make it lighter and lighter by removing all unnecessary thoughts from it. Dream and meditation are the two ways of clearing the subconscious levels of the mind. And unless the subconscious becomes lighter, we have no entry into the unconscious state of consciousness, which is the Atman, the self, whatever. We cannot have entry there. Chittasya shuddhaye. Everything that is prescribed in the Shastra for purifying the mind are valid. Which one you choose is your own problem. So when you say in the puja, in that Nadopasana, in singing the glories of the Lord and getting absorbed in it, not merely singing. You are not aware, even people are listening to you. In that absorption of the mind, that is a Nadopasana. You understand? Everything is valid. But everything, you must know, is only a means, not the end. Everything is a means, including meditation. That is why the Vedanta never accepts that meditation or getting into samadhi is the goal. It is not the goal. That samadhi state is with you all the time, that is the goal. I am always chant Om, chant your Ishta Mantram, Namah Shivaya, Narayanaya, Narayanaya, Narayana. Go into trance. Chanting and chanting and chanting. So don't think, 2 minutes if I chant, that is okay. Enough. No, it is not enough. In 2 minutes you have not thrown out the world even from the mind. You have to have time for all this. Only continuous chanting of Om will give you a taste of that silence. Sadhana is not easy. You must allot time for it. In your busy schedule of life, allot time for the purification of the mind. And the mind becomes less and less heavy, becoming lighter and lighter. A light mind is a happy mind. Heavy mind is sad, always sad. My heart is heavy. What do you mean heavy? Suddenly it put on weight. Not only the body is putting on weight, the heart also is putting on weight. Not put on weight. It is full of unwanted and digested thoughts. That is all. Remove them. Happy like a butterfly we are after that. So this purification is required. Abhavastu is equally unreal. The Nyaya referred to as absence of proper time, space, etc. The above mentioned Shruti reiterates the same reasoning given in the earlier two Karikas. So interprets Nyaya Purvakam not as logical reasoning but relying on the Brihadaranyaka Shruti. One of the scholars say the Nyaya Purvakam, that word there, refers to the Brihadaranyaka Shruti. Nyaya text. To the Upanishad text, Brihadaranyaka means the same. And these Karmarkar and others are try to put down what Gaudapada says. And I don't think they succeeded, but they go on arguing. They are the Purva Pakshis of Gaudapada. Antasthana tu Vedanam Tasmad Jagarite Smritam Yatha Tatra Tatha Swapne Samvrudatvena Vidyade. Andasthanatu Bheda. Entities perceived in the waking state are unreal. This is the proposition to be established now. Now we have to establish that what we see in the waking world also is unreal. Now we have given a relative reality to waking world experiences, but what he is trying to establish is that waking world is equally unreal. How will you establish that? Same four things you have to take and prove that it is there in the waking state also. Andasthanam. Is it not Andasthanam? Where are you experiencing anything? Inside. Is it a very big space here? Very little space. But I see the elephant that is standing there within this one thing. Is it not? Second is? Pardon? Time.
Space is the second. Inside it is small and that is big.
Outside. That can happen even in the ordinary perception. The small things becomes big in our mind. Is it not? We can, what do you say? We can make it, zoom it, or we can bring it down to minuscule dimensions. Both can be done. Even science says we can do it. So now what is the other thing that makes the waking world experiences also as unreal? It has a coming adavando. There is a beginning and a end. That is unreal. Because what is the nature of Satyam? Trikala abhadita vastu, which is not there in the waking experiences. And the waking experiences also are, there he is going to say, andasthanatu vedanam tasmad jagaride smrtam yada tatra tatha swapne tad samvrittattvena vidyate. So, only thing is, I am seeing it inside, we think, in the dream state. I am seeing it outside in the waking state. Actually, you are seeing it outside, but seeing it, the object is seen outside, but I am experiencing it inside. So, there is no difference. Na vidyate. Both are same. All the four he is going to say one by one. And vidyate, entities perceived in the way. And another thing is, what the most important point there is, yet drishyam tad jadam. Have you heard that? Yet drishyam tad jadam. Take tad jadam. You must take that as the basis to establish that the waking world is also unreal. I am drishtvatvad. It is not said in so many words, but it is implied in the Bhashya. Drishyatvad, the waking world is unreal. Why drishyatvad? You divide the experience into the drashta and the drishya. Is it not? Drashta, drishya. What is real here? Drashta is real, but not the drishya vastus. Considering that argument in the scripture, what will you say? Everything that I see is a drishya vastu. And the drishya vastu is not me, the drik, the conscious principle, whatever you say. It is not me. Or I don't know whether you have doubt about it. I am seeing you. But I am not you. To see something, it has to be different from me. And the seeing is possible only in consciousness, is it not? Now, the consciousness is real, is established because it is there in all three periods of time. Hence it is the real. And what I am conscious of keeps on change. That change is what makes a drishya vastu unreal. So drishyatvad, anityatvad, all these are given in the Shastra. So why is the waking experience as unreal? Because of drishyatvad. I am seeing and I am the seer, drigeva satyam. That seer alone is the truth. Seer means not the person. Then the consciousness. Let this sink into you. Yadrishyam tajjada. So one of the arguments we give for saying that the body is not you is drishyatvad. I am seeing. There is a subject, there is a object. The object I am seeing and the subject is the reality and the object is always changing. Is it clear? This portion is clear. So, drishyatvad, it is not there. Entities perceived in the waking state are unreal because of the maxim, yadrishyam tat jadam. This is the proposition to be established because they are perceived. This is the hedu, ground for inference, like the entities perceived in dream. This is the illustration. Drishtanta is like the dream entities which are unreal. That is the hedu. In the same way, the waking state experiences are also unreal. In the same way, the entities are also perceived in the waking state. The common factor is being perceived. Drishtatvam. Being perceived is that. That is the in relation to the proposition to be established. The pradijna is to establish that the waking world is as unreal as the dream world. Pradijna is that. What is all these words? Nyaya. Nyaya philosophy. You understand pradijna? You are taking up a what is the sadhyavastu, that the waking world is as unreal as the dream world. Now you are going to do it as unreal is the conclusion of this syllogism. Entities in the waking state are also unreal. The difference between the dream and the waking state is that entities in dream are perceived within the body in a limited space, the common factors, but what that is appearing as outside in the waking state. Though I am inferring it inside, it is seen outside. That's only the difference between dream and the waking state. In the dream, both are inside only. In the waking, it appears as though they are all outside me. And what is this outside and inside? Na bhakyaha, bhakyaha. So many times, we have explained it is neither bhakyam nor andaram. With reference to the body, bhakya and outside and inside. Otherwise, where is the outside, where is the inside? With reference to the part, the space is inside and outside. Otherwise, where is the inside and outside? The part, the space inside the pot, is the same as Mahakasha. There is no difference. Bismillah here. We say in this Kariga, it is concluded that entities in the waking state are equally unreal like those in the dream. The ground being that the entities are Drishyavastus, objects of perception in both the states. The theory of Vedanta says that all this is the object of perception is unreal, illusory. I told you that already. To establish this, you have to use this maxim, Ed Drishyam Taj Jadam, and everything that is Drishyam, whether it is in the dream or whether it is in the waking, are unreal. He has to establish it. So he is saying that the phenomenal world is the object of perception and is therefore unreal or mithya. Shankara's interpretation takes in view this principle of Vedanta from the point of view of the ultimate reality. All entities, whether perceived in dream or the waking state, are objects of perception and are therefore unreal, illusory. The mithyatvam is established by drishtatvam and anityatvam. You don't see the same dream always, except in rare cases. You don't see the same objects. The waking world objects are different from the dream objects. And even the absence of objects in the prajnana ghanam, in the deep sleep state. They are all different experiences. But the one who knows, the seer, the experiencer, does not differ from the waking state to the dream state to the deep sleep state. Samvid na bidhyade. In Panchadashi, Vidyaranya Muni says, the knower does not differ. Then what differs? The known keeps on changing. Okay? So, at least in this one point you are clear that the waking world experiences are as unreal as the dream experiences. Don't use your common understanding for this. Use logic. If that is seen, this is also seen. If it is inside, this is also, you are experiencing it inside. For these two reasons, we must say that the tatha, here he says, yatha tatra tatha swapne. What is in the waking world is available in the, now he has brought in the subject also, the seer also. Drik and drishyam. All drishya vastus are unreal. Why do you say like that? They keep on changing. That is why. They are not real means they are changeable commodity. There is Adi Antam is there. That is why they are unreal. And hence, on the basis of it, the Shastra has established that whatever you see is unreal. Not, he asked me that day, whatever we see is unreal. From this example or from this maxim. Is it not? In what sense? Because there is a reality which is perceiving the unreal objects of the world. The drik, the knowing principle is real. But what is known is unreal in the sense it is a changing phenomena. If you say there is a relative reality to them, we agree. The waking experiences have relative reality, but the waking experiences is as real to the waker as the dream experiences is as real to the dreamer. There is no difference there. Okay, continuing says that Drishyavat, the Hedu is not stated in the Kariga, but is to be supplied. That's why I said that Drishtatvam has to be supplied by you. In the Kariga. Kariga never says about Drishtatvam, but it is understood. That is the meaning there. Now continuing he says, while Shankara clearly specifies the Paramarthika, Vyavaharika and Pratibhasika states of consciousness, Gaudapada concerns himself only with the Paramarthika Satyam. He never bothers about the Vyavaharika and Pratibhasika Satyam. That is why all this problem. He is talking from that level. And we are trying to understand it from this level. You understand? He is like Krishnamurti, Jai Krishnamurti, you ever heard about him, He is a realized man. So he will come and talk. And he has got his own doubts when he look at the face of the people, whether they have understood. So he says, are you with me? Are you with me? He will keep on asking. Nobody is with him. He is there. It's very interesting to read. So Gurudev will say, he will pull his hair and say, are you with me? Gaudapada is some such JK only. And he is not referring to any unnecessary, even one word. He doesn't. We have to connect. Because our understanding is not that high. So we have to connect all that with all what we know little. So he says here, Gaudapada concerns himself only with the Paramarthika state and ignores other states as trifles. The Vyavaharika Satya and Pratibhasika Satya are all nothing much to think about or talk about. He thinks any other state except the transcendental and postulates Ajadivada. From this only he comes in the end to Ajadivada. So, but Shankara has elaborated this philosophy of the three Vyavaharika Satta, relative reality. He expands that idea in various Upanishadic Bhashyas. Swapna Chakaride Sthane Ekamahur Manishinaha भेदानां हि समत्वेन प्रसिद्धेनैव हेतुना. Those wise people, the Manishinaha, who can discriminate, has stated that the dream and waking states are identical on account of the subject-object relationship. When you say the subject-object relationship, naturally drishta and drishyam will come into the picture. This relationship in both these states, grahya, grahaka, bhavam. Grahya, objects are aware of. Awarer and the awaring of are called grahya, grahaka, bhava. That is there in both the dream and the waking state. We have already explained this, nothing much to say. A conclusion arrived at from what is established as the proof, he says, prasiddhenaiva heduna. By that suprasiddha hedu. What is that suprasiddha hedu? Drishtatvat and anityatvat. How do you say that a thing is unreal? Drishtatvam is there, anityatvam is there. It is not always there. Anityatvam means not there in 3 periods of time. So if they are there, unreal only. All the objects that we see in the world also are like that only, keep on changing. Yeah, no, but I am seeing the same Ganga, not at all. Ganga is a flowing river. So today the Ganga that you see is not the Ganga that you are going to see tomorrow. By that time new water has come. Is it not? Nothing in this world is standing static. I keep on changing. And anityatvam is there. It has come in time. Now the Ganga will dry up, they say. In some thousands of years, lakhs of years hereafter. Now only the Gomuga has become shrunk. Then what will happen? Gomuga is not there. The glacier has dried due to excessive heating. Go on making all types of silly things, and then in the end you will suffer for what is necessary. The necessities of life. Water, air, everything you are spoiling, because of your technological advance. The world is like a empty ball now. Go on taking everything. Let this taken out, that is taken out, this is taken out. Finally, only Bhugambam is there. Think, man's selfishness is going to be the destruction of this world. See, when we started cultivation, the farmer was soft to the soil. He never exhausted the soil. What is the present method of cultivation? Exhausting the soil fully. And then put more and more chemicals, chemical manures. After some time, that is also not sufficient. So again you put. You are destroying the whole environment. Why? Because I want to produce more. And what do you do after you produce more? Put it in the Pacific Ocean. You cannot send it to the hungry mouths around the world. No. What type of people we are? In America, they give the farmers not to sell their produce. We will give you money, don't sell it in the market. Why? Prices have to be kept high.
Not to sell, not to grow
also. And put it, whatever is grown, you put in the Pacific Ocean. What type of thinking is this? How can we progress? In what way have we progressed? Less human. Even a dog, when it is born, it lives like a dog, it dies like a dog. The human being is born as a human being, but never lives as a human being and dies as a dog only. Those are the problems which are facing the humanity hereafter, and we are not leaving anything for our children. No wonder they start ill-treating you now itself. Thinking about the future that you are going to give them. All born out of our ego, our selfishness. In the olden times, the poor farmer, he was poor, but he was a happy farmer, not committing suicide like this. He was not very rich, but he was happier man, don't you think? I have seen the farmers in some 50 years ago here. They were happy people. They have their hot kanji and they are happy. Today, we are running after that mirage called money and ends up in suicide only. So the scripture always says, get rid of that ego. That is standing between you and godliness. And he says, then all these are Gaudapada equates Jagrat with Swapna and calls both of them unreal or illusory, but this is only from the point of view of ultimate reality. Meaning thereby what? They have got relative reality. Our waking world has relative reality. It is a mithya world. But one day it will go away. It is a coming and going thing. He says there, Swapna Jagirade Sthane Egamahur Manishnaha Bedanam Hi Samatvena. The similarity of objects perceived in these two states on the ground already. Now, Nyayapur, we have said it before, and hence the Manishnaha, the wise men say, they are both same. Both the Swapna and Jagrat are illusory from the point of view of the ultimate reality, but from its own point of view, it has got relative reality and is Vyavaharika. You can do Vyavahar with that, but not in the highest reality. In the highest reality, Avyavaharyam. It is not available for Vyavahar. Okay, continuing, he says, as appropriately used the word Swapna for Jagrat also. The reason for this identity of the two states given by the wise is their common feature of having subject-object relationship. What is subject? The dreamer is the subject in the dream world and the waker is the subject in the waking world. And what is the experiences? Waking experiences is the objects which are keeping on changing. And what is the dream world? Dream experiences which also keeps on changing. So there is samanyam between the experience of the dream and the experience of the waking state. Hence both are same only, says here. And adavante cha yennasti Vartamane vitattha vidadai sadrisha santaha avidatha iva lakshida. This verse is there from the Gita also, or Gita has taken from here. We don't know what happened. Gita is the condensation of all the Upanishads. So, what is there in the Vartamane Vidaddhata? What is not there in the beginning and what is not there in the end? What is the verse? Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sadaha. No, not that also. What is the other verse? Vartamane. The same, almost same meaning is there. Which is not there in the beginning, which is not there in the end, cannot be there in the middle. But I am seeing. What is not there in the world, this dualistic world is not there in the beginning. Vyakta madhyani bharada. Avyaktadini bhudani. When? In the beginning. And avyakta in the end. But it is vyakta madhyam. Is it possible? If it is not there in the beginning and in the end, it is not there in the... But I am seeing, then it is only seeing. It's only an appearance. That is, Vivartamada is established like that. It's only an appearance. What you are seeing as the world is an appearance. Vyakta madhyani bharata. Nidananyeva tatraka parivet. Why are you weeping for that which is born? Jadasya hi dhruvo mrityuhu. So why are you weeping? Why are you feeling sad, sorrowful? At the passing away of the things, it will pass. So why do you say, I am going to kill my gurus, I am going to kill... Whether you kill or not, I have already killed them. They are in my hit list. Krishna says. You understand? And he shows the Vishwarupa. See, inside. And what does he see inside? Bhagwan is nicely eating Bhishma's head and Drona's head.
I have killed all of them in time. So you take credit.
Yasho labhasva. Get yashas. Anyway, when you finish the Upanishad, go back to Gita and you will find each word is meaningful. You understand? So, I hope you have no doubt now that the waking world is also a dream. If I think like that, how can I leave the waking world? How can I do Vyavahar? Yeah, Krishna Gaudapada says, it is only a long dream. What? Waking. Only difference is that you don't wake up to the same dream again and again, but we come to the same world in this life at least. Is it not? The same circumstances, same people, same. Then the Americans said same wife is not necessary. So, they are wonderful people. They cannot be satisfied with anything. So they change their jobs, they change the place where they are staying, they change the wives whom they don't want. Because they know anyway they are all changing. It is not the same way. It is not the same beautiful 20-year-old I married. Huh? Now I will go for a 20-year-old. At what age? 70 years. It is so stupid. You cannot keep the world from moving forward. They are all called Vyamoham. Delusion. These are all called delusion. Okay. Now, Gaudapada says the same argument here. Adavante jennasti vartamanebi tatatha. It cannot be there. Vidate sadrisha santo avitatha iva lakshita. Such objects, though they are like illusions, appear as if they are. There is an appearance of reality in the world, but really it is not real. Really not real. Then what it is? Unreal only. The world keeps on changing. What is your problem in the world? Everything changes. That is your problem. My body was so healthy that now that is changing. And I am not ready to accept it. I am born a dark man. Now I want to become white. The tragedy you can see in Michael. What is this? Michael Johnson.
At the same time,
It is a changing world. It will change. I am a change. This body is a changing thing. And it will change. If you accept it as it is, there is no problem. If you don't accept it, it's a constant struggle. So you see, taking this philosophy, what is it that you cannot accept in this world? Okay. Change is the changeless law of life. Change is the only changeless law of life is what? Change. So he says here, Adavandau chennasti vartamanepi. If you are seeing it, it's only an appearance which will come and which will go. Because it is an illusory appearance. So instead of taking from the from the waking state to the dream state, Gaudapada has gone the opposite direction. From the dream state, he showed even in the waking state that is happening. So there is no difference between waking and the dream. And that which does not exist in the beginning as well as in the end is non-existent even in the middle. No, it is not there. Such objects, though they are like illusions, appear as if they are real. This appearance is called in Vedanta as Vivartam. Vivartavadam. This is called it. So what is this world I am seeing? Appearance. Not real. Enlivened by the Atman. This whole thing is enlivened, but don't think that there is no Atman at all. It is all illusory things. This body is endowed with the presence of mysterious presence in all of us. This mind is capable of thinking and pervasiveness because of the Atman. So this whole thing is Atman plus Namarupa. No? Drigdrishya Viveka says like that. Pancha. Every object that you see in the world has got 5 components. Sachidananda plus Namarupa. Sachidananda is Brahman, Namarupa is the Jagat. So it's a combination of the real and the unreal. If you have understood that much, it is enough. Whatever I am seeing is changing and changeable, perishing and perishable, it will move on. That is life. Don't try to stop it. Don't spend your energy in that. On the other hand, be a witness to the flow of life. As long as you are watching the Ganga, you are happy on the Ganges bank. But suppose inside there, what will happen? You will reach Ganga Sagar. Not in one piece. Is it not? So also, be always a watcher, be always a witness of this tragic comedy called life. Just be a wish, just be a witness. Samasta Sakshi. Okay. So, it is only what am I seeing? Vitataihi sadrisha santo aviditha iva lakshyate. It looks as though it is real. For want of their existence in the beginning and the end, they are like illusory mirage, but still they appear as if they are real. To whom? To whom it appears as real? To the To whom does the world look real?
For the ignorant.
To the ignorant. For the ignorant man. For the Ajnani, the world is real. For the Jnani, I know you keep on changing. You are not real to me. So when the sorrows come, write a big placard and keep in your room. But even this will pass. And joys come. Don't jump up and down. This will also pass because it is a flow. Now happy, now unhappy. I, the consciousness, is neither happy nor unhappy. I am just a witness of my own happiness, meaning the mind. Mind is the seat of all emotions. I just watch. So make a new hobby. What is that new hobby? Watching the mind always. That is a great sadhana. Watch the mind. The mind says, I am happy. You understand? Or the mind says, I am unhappy. That person said like this, blah, 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 blah. Never mind. Tomorrow you will forget it. I am not unhappy. I am not happy either. I am bliss absolute. In me, the thoughts of happiness come, the thoughts of unhappiness come. Both are unreal as far as I am concerned. Why do you give serious place to these things? That's why you are suffering. Don't suffer. I feel always pity for those who say, I am so unhappy, I have so many problems. Who doesn't have? I asked him, but who doesn't have? Tell me one person who doesn't have problems. The one who knows how to handle that is a wise man. The one who does not know to handle is always sorrowful, he is Ajnani. To him, all these are, but they appear as if they are real to the ignorant who do not know the Atman. Once you know the Atman, the self, that will go. There is nothing to be unhappy about. It gives you such a peace of mind. That is why the Upanishad says, Shandam, Shivam. Not that things, objects around you have changed in any way. They are all going to bring you unhappiness. But I am not going to be affected by them. That is a coming and going phenomena. This Shantata you have to practice every day. Okay, what is problem? No problem. Problems will be always there. You understand? No man or woman is free from problems. The whole idea of Vedantic study is to equip you with strength to face the challenges of life. The whole idea of studying is this. So many people have that question. Why we are studying? We are all consciousness only. What is it? But when things happen and you are unhappy, are you able to use this knowledge to overcome that unhappiness? That is the question. I can tell you very positively in this that it is. It has got immense strength. The Vedantic knowledge gives you immense strength to face life as it comes. That is why you have to study. Not that you will become a billionaire. If you start selling this knowledge, you can become a billionaire also. If you don't sell it, it's not a saleable commodity. Anna? In the olden times, the rishis never gave this life knowledge to people for any amount of money. Guru tells the shishya, whatever you can afford, you give for the next generation of students. I have to feed them. And if he is a poor man, he will give whatever little he has. If he is a prince, he will give lot of money to the Guru. Guru doesn't need either. He is in his own world of reality. He does not want all that. What type of Gurukula system we had? Today it is a pity to see Vedanta is, Malayalam we say Valacha Odche, meaning bent and they are selling it in the marketplace now. They are selling in the marketplace this great knowledge. But if you want to do any vyavahar, you need money. That also let us understand.
All of them pray together,
Get us.
more wealth.
That's for the vyavaharic students. You understand? Money is not condemned. But are you after money or are you after Turiya? That is only difference.
Money should only be a means.
Money should be. Money should be a means. So the teacher who says, no, we don't touch money. Some teachers say, I will not touch money. Why not? Is it going to bite you? It's very interesting when you think about all these things. Let us stop. I am a very talkative woman. That is the whole problem. Apurvam, you know what? Whatever knowledge I have on that particular matter, I want to share it with my students. Not only what is given in the book. General knowledge. That also I want to share. Now the next one we will take, that the things have some purpose also in dream is known, but this reading does not bring about, why was the bottom? I know. Adavante. I am not. Na prajnam. Prajnam only. Okay, that 6th verse is over. We have to do 7th verse in the next class. Because I deviate from it takes a little more time. It doesn't matter. If it makes it clearer for you.
Family 45 minutes, even the 10th
But since we have already done it, it was easy to understand. Otherwise, it is not easy at that speed.
Hari